Shall we start?
Yes.
What shall we talk about? Or discuss about? Or consider about? Or think about?
I have a question about
Please, anyone. Panarik. So
Sir
Panarik.
Ika, can you repeat your question again?
Yeah.
someone said that what I did was Soteris.Dhamma, Soteris. I didn't have time to look it up, so I thought Soteris.Dhamma. What is Soteris.Dhamma?
Could you please spell it for us?
I think Soothaeris. Soteris. Soteris. The Soteris version of Dhamma.
I'm not sure what has
I
been
think
spoken.
it is meant that it is not the real Dhamma, not the deep real Dhamma. It's just like, I don't know.
It's just like theory, is that right?
Like light Dhamma, not complete good Dhamma, you know?
Okay, is hardness a Dhamma? Just hardness now. Is it real? Is it a Dhamma?
Yes.
So whatever is real is Dhamma. It has its quality or its characteristic to be known. For example, taste is not hard. Hardness cannot be taste.
Nee.
And taste cannot be hard, right? When it
Yeah.
appears, it's just a taste. So it's real. Whatever is real has its own characteristic. To be known that it's there real.
Okay.
If we don't use the word Dhamma, we can say it's real. Hardness is real. It's touched. It's there appearing. It cannot be other thing else. It's just that which is there as it is. It cannot be anything or anyone. When it's touched, it's hard. That's all. For now, no one there. What does it mean? It's only different colors appearing. Only colors. How can it be something? And what is color? It is of seeing. Even we don't use the word pink or yellow or dark or white. It's seen as its different colors. How can it be someone or something in truth? Without thinking, without memory, without idea, can it be anything? Just white and dark and yellow and green, only that. At moment of
So,
seeing, what is real? Only that which is seen, which is only different colors, which can be seen. Nothing else can be seen. So if we just experience the nature of the moment of seeing, the moment of seeing, not the moment of thinking about what is there, it sees only that which appears, as we say, different colors. So can different color be someone or something? Not at all. If there's no memory of different colors as different shape and form, how can it be taken to be known as something? So understand what is the ultimate truth and what is just the idea about that which appears. So what is theory? The theory is seeing sees different color. But the truth is no word, but seeing now sees different color.
Seeing
Yeah.
sees different color. Seeing
Yes.
sees one color at a time.
Yes, just one color at a time.
Yeah, one color at a time. And that's then the truth.
And just one color cannot be anything at all. It's only that which is seen, that's all, and then gone. At moment of hearing, there's no seeing, no visible
Yes.
object appear at all. Because at that moment, only sound appears. So how can different colors appear together with the sound? Impossible. They cannot be mixed at all. So now is the world of mixing different moments together, different things together, and it conditioned the idea by shape and form of something or someone all the time.
Wow.
Be true to the truth, that's all. To understand in truth in a moment of seeing no one, in a moment of hearing no one, in a moment of thinking no one, in a moment of touching no one. Only touching and hardness of softness appears as object.
Wow.
So be true to the truth on and on and on until the truth appear so clear that at that one moment of experiencing an object, what appears by way of nimitta is only one characteristic. That's all. Hardness can be anyone's finger or nail. It's just hard. The
Yeah.
dead body cannot know what is there. Only the moment of that which is conditioned to arise to experience one doorway at a time. So the whole day can be separated into just one single moment. So very tiny, very quick, arising and falling away. Just understand the truth until the truth appears as the object of understanding. That's it, the way it is. It cannot be anything. It cannot be taken for something or someone. Just a moment. Cannot be anyone or anything at all. Be true to the truth little by little, because no one can change the truth at all. No one can change seeing not to see visible object. No one can change hearing not to hear the sound. So where are you? What is you? And when is you? Not any moment at all. Only thinking.
Wow.
Is this true? And that is the meaning of Dhamma. Whatever is real is real. No one can change its characteristic. At moment of thinking to change it, it's gone. As soon as it has a reason, it's gone instantly.
How to bring it together with this kind of judgment? What I
Actually,
brought up, maybe not to bring together. It is not to bring together.
That's why we have to consider what is there. There
What
is
is
seeing. See, we take that moment as seeing. What is there? It's seeing. But what is seeing? It's a moment of a reality which arises and see. Just arise to see. Learn little by little to understand the ultimate truth. No one, a reality, arises and see. So we say it experiences what is there as different color, no word, because it sees, it does not think, it just sees. So learn to understand what is there in life from moment to moment, in truth, to understand the way it is. If nothing arises at all, there cannot be a world or a moon or a sun or a road or cars or anything at all if nothing arises at all. But who can change the way it is? It's there by conditions. So learn to understand what condition what. And before that, what is that which is conditioned for what? More and more to consider about the truth. Is there, is real, is a reality? Does anyone make it arise? It's all there. It's there already. Already before anyone can think to make it arise at all. And if anyone would like to change it, it's gone before anyone can do anything. Because in truth, there are only two different kinds of realities. One is that which experiences an object by conditions, and the other one arises but cannot experience anything at all. Is it true? Just only two different kinds of realities. Touching is there. It experiences hardness. So it's a reality which arises and experiences an object. Whenever it arises, it experiences an object, only that. That's all. And then gone. Seeing gone, hearing gone, smelling gone, each moment gone. So it's only realities conditioned to arise and for experience an object and gone, never to arise again. From birth on and on and on to death, the end of moment of seeing, hearing again, sleeping again, wake up again. All are realities, different from moment to moment by conditions. No one there. So learn to understand that what is life? If there's no reality which experiences an object at all, no life. What we say, the tree, the river, it cannot experience anything. It's not life.
so? In my case, Ajahn, I was in the conventional reality and not in the ultimate reality.
Not you, not
You
only
explained the
you,
ultimate.
not anyone. It's a reality which cannot understand the truth. So it's
Yeah.
one reality. Whenever it arises, it cannot understand the truth of what is there appearing, different from another reality. It's conditioned to arise, to understand the truth. Seeing is real. It's just seeing. It is only seeing. And
Oh,
it sees and gone, no one at all. But ignorance take it when there's no other reality which experiences. So that moment of experiencing is I. So where's I? Seeing is I. Hearing is I. Without seeing, hearing, can there be I? So
No.
what is taken for eye is only moment of seeing and hearing and thinking right now or any time in life. And then gone, never to arise again, no matter what attachment, aversion, present feeling, painful feeling, whatever is there, by conditions and gone. Can you hold it? Can you touch it? Can you own it? Not at all. It's the way Dhamma is. So learn to understand different characteristics of Dhamma in life, to let go, clinging to it as it's still there. But in truth, when it does not appear, it's not there. And more than that, even it appears now, it arises and falls away. So very quickly, so very quick until that arising and falling away does not show up at all.
How interesting. How light.
Just understanding is only a moment of understanding. Only one moment when it's there. And then no understanding again. That's why understand moment of understanding, moment of no understanding, moment of attachment, moment of aversion, just in a moment. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's all. Life is only that. You can be this person in this life only. What about last life? Not this person at all. What about next life? Never be this person again, even just one moment after death. So they are all moments of conditioned realities arising and falling away non-stop, as long as there are conditions for whatever arises. So now it's not just one moment or morning or one night, uncountable moments, never to arise again. The succession of that which arises and falls away, unknown so rapidly. That's why there is the idea of something there all the time, because they've seen that they do not fall away at all. But what arises falls away in split seconds. That is the truth. So consider it again and again about the way it is. Can anyone see the eye? But there is the eye in the middle of what we take for the center of the eyes.
See.
Can anyone see the eye?
You are speaking
No,
about physical eye?
no, only the different colors. Only color is seen, not the eye. Not the, otherwise, all colors is the eye. But in truth, the eye is not the color. It cannot be seen. What is seen, no matter in what world, in what life, is only that now, which is seen as color, different color. And we use the word color to represent that which is best seen. In truth, no word, no need to use any word. And if the word for it is the understanding that it's not the word, but it's the reality, which has to use the word to represent it. So now just talk about the truth each moment, little by little. The more understanding, the more letting go of the idea that it's permanent or it's someone or something, because it's gone. Sunyata, never to arise again. That's why it cannot be anyone or anything at all. because it's gone.
And yes, Yotika, Ajahn was talking about the I sense, what you call the physical I, because what is seen is not the I sense, and what sees is not the I sense. The I sense is just what the visible object or the color impinges on. So she was differentiating between what is seen and the I sense. Yes.
But I had other question. I was thinking, do I understand it well? Is it I, like person, I?
So how quickly the idea of I understand, do I get it, comes in. Yes, yes.
So
it depends on the context. Yes. Sometimes it's not quite clear. I agree. Yes.
Okay,
and
thank you.
When discussing and understanding more about the Dhammas, there is the gradual letting go of the idea of I understanding or I practicing or I striving, because it's just seeing what is seen and the I sense, hearing, and what is heard, thinking about different ideas such as I, who can see or do.
But
so that's why we talk about the different Dhammas, the different realities.
Yes, yes. Oh, beautiful.
It's so it's excellent that you appreciate it so much and see the value in hearing about different Dhammas and the importance of beginning to understand there are different Dhammas arising and falling away just for a moment and then gone. No one there at all. Each one gone, never to return.
But that's on ultimate reality level, eh?
And in truth, that's all there is. There is only the ultimate reality level. There are only Paramatta Dhammas that arise, fall away from moment to moment. But usually it's not known.
But I was starting from the beginning that someone is judging, and this judgment is hanging there. And so on this level, I started with the question. And then it turns over to a whole different level from the ultimate reality, and then there's nothing there. It's just one moment it's gone, one moment it's gone. So it's not more there. It's very light, in fact. No
and in
judgment.
fact, whatever the topic, however it starts, it comes back to different Dhammas arising and falling away. Like no matter a couple of weeks ago, whether one's starts off talking about protests or one's friend who is dying or this situation or that situation. In fact, there are just different moments of seeing, hearing, thinking, and so on, and
That's
rising
true.
and falling away.
That's what I understand now, that it is just, you can bring it back to seeing, hearing what is real in there. Yeah. It's beautiful.
I didn't quite hear what you said. Your first point was about judgment, did you say?
Yes, someone called me Soterio Dhamma. Soterio Dhamma. Then I thought, what is Soterio Dhamma? And I asked that. And this whole discussion, this whole thinking came around that. There is hearing, there is seeing, is keeping that. Me was keeping that, you know, like a judgment, like a not real Dhamma, Adhamma.
When it's not the real Dhammas, then they're clinging to the story all the time, clinging to one's ideas, clinging to what I can do or control or understand. So that's why the understanding is the letting go of the clinging to I.
It helps to to handle this situation.
And to appreciate, like you reminded us, that actually no one's there, nothing to do, nowhere to go, as
Yeah,
your friends reminded, because they're
yeah,
just different dharmas arising and falling away. No I to do anything or go anywhere.
no. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
May I ask Ajahn a
Go
question?
ahead, Maeve. Go, yeah, good.
Hello, Ajahn.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ
Radhika. Ajahn, I think it was last Monday, you were, towards the end of the discussion, you were talking about accomplishment. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why it was the case, but as you spoke, it just seemed that I appreciated that you were making something very clear in relation to the perfections. And that was in the, I suppose, the area of, by talking about accomplishment and how the accomplishment of the Buddha was so very different from what we think of as accomplishment, seemed to illuminate how the development of the parami is it is such a gradual process, because it is so easy to think that when we just hear the word generosity or patience or equanimity, that we have some of that accomplishment. Yet in actual fact, you went on to describe how the quality of the accomplishment, the strength of the accomplishment, was only really came about through difficulty. That if it was easy to give something away, and I think Azita gave a really good example of how, I think, Azita, you were talking about moving house and getting rid of things. And, it can seem as if that's, you're giving something for the benefit of others, which it may be, but your thinking is more in the territory of your convenience.
Exactly. Yes, exactly, Maeve. Good one.
And I think that in terms of generosity, that imperfect generosity actually happens a lot of the time, that we mistake having generosity or the accomplishment of generosity without realizing how tarnished it is. And I think, Ajahn, just it was the way you spoke about accomplishment, which made it much clearer that it is worthwhile paying attention to the imperfection of the parami, the part of the parami that is, it's like a sign or an indication of how far away the perfecting of each of the generosity and loving kindness and all of the the group that really support the development of understanding, that to be always thinking about the perfect accomplishment is not much use given our present condition or the present mental states that tend to arise much more frequently. Now, I'm sorry, this has been a rather long comment, Ajahn, but I did really appreciate what you said, and I wondered if maybe you could say a little more, particularly maybe that for those who mightn't have heard that discussion, just about the relationship between accomplishment and the parami, please.
Even the appreciation of accomplishment is the development of understanding the truth. Very important that it's so far away. No one can imagine the truth that Buddha taught. Each word is so true right now. So the accomplishment of the hetu, understanding little by little to realize the truth, only letting go of the clinging and ignorance of the nature of what is there as something. Imagine what is there now, taken from different colors, taken to be this or that, atta all the time. Not at all be atta anymore. What appears, no one there, because it's only different colors, experience. But now, so many moments, so very rapidly, not just one moment or one nimitta of one characteristic appear. So only understanding deeper and deeper can see that the world in truth, the realization of the truth cannot be like now at all. So imagine the world of atta and the world of anatta. It has to be little by little, from moment of understanding deeper and deeper. No matter how very slightly attachment is there, unknown, or slightly intention is there, unknown, it has to be known. Otherwise, they are all atta. That's why only parami, patient parami, is there. It doesn't matter now. It does not appear as we heard. But the way it gets closer from not thinking about it at all to be some moment thinking about it by conditions. Why does anyone think just about what one has accumulated? By conditions, the accumulation of the different experiences, condition, such way of thinking, such thought. So now the way to understand the truth, to just think about it correctly and deeper, has to begin to let go the idea of self from whatever is there now appearing as something or someone. See, this is the understanding of how incredible truth is there. Not anyone, not anything, not many things together. Just one, beginning from direct awareness, sammasati, directly arise and be aware with understanding that that is a reality to be known. While now, no thought about hardness or whisper object as it is that which has to be known or directly experienced. Little by little, stage by stage. And thinkable, no expectation at all, just pop up while we are thinking about Makkah, the Eightfold Path, and so on. It's that just pop up by conditions. That's why the way anatta appears or begin to show up. It's not by any moment we think about it, but it comes from the accumulation, the foundation of the very firm parami, little by little, unexpectedly. Because the idea of self is so very, very enormous, very, very sticky. No way to touch it by the idea or by wishes at all, beyond expectation. That's why the understanding of the very subtle truth about the path, about the Four Noble Truths, conditioned life that goes on so natural. And so natural in a day means not yet thinking about reality. Is that right? And when there are conditions to think about it, it's not the moment when it appears popping up instantly by conditions, not what we are thinking about. Just like now in truth, but it's so very deep, it does not show up. The right understanding is not strong and deep enough to get through the truth of what is taken for something or someone to understand the truth of actually, as long as one reality does not appear to be known, it cannot let go the idea of something or someone or I at all. That's why the understanding, letting go the idea even about the past, because it's firm enough to understand the way it is, not by thinking, not by hoping, not by wishing, not by trying, but understanding right now works its way. So the path, the Eightfold Path of the Four Noble Truths, so very subtle because it is now, little by little, before it can be stronger and stronger and sharper. It's just ordinary life to understand that the truth is that everyone has accumulated lots of akusala. That's why the moment of akusala arises more than kusala. So the parami is there by conditions. At moment of forgiveness, it's not anyone who can do, but the accumulation of the understanding, all adhamas, conditioned by its own way to forgive. So what is there in life is so natural, conditioned, but very, very subtle. That's all. So now, no thought about to enlighten the truth or what is the object. Even the breath is so very subtle object. But who knows the accumulation? While one thinking about hardness, the breath can pop up as hardness. Not that which we are thinking about, see, by conditions. That's why I have firm confidence of understanding. It's only understanding of reality, not I am trying or I have such and such unexpected, like holding the knife handle. Who knows when it will wear away, so much or so little. Time and conditions only can condition the understanding deeper and deeper. So natural. At moment of understanding the truth, it doesn't hurt, but it conditions kanti parami. It's there. No thought about try to do, but understanding the panya that it can develop more than this, sharper than this. That's why it conditioned moment of considering the truth of the word we heard more and more, little by little, again and again and again. No expected, no wishing for the result to appear or to arise at such at this moment or at the moment. Not at all. And that is the subtle letting go. And it is so natural, because no matter what, right understanding can be the condition to pop up to understand it. Because who knows what would be next moment? What next moment will be? No expected at all. Unexpected. So just have firm confidence of Satya. Understand the moment with Sati and moment without Sati. Understanding moment of Sati, which is aware of our reality, and understand the moment without Sati. So no doubt about the characteristic of Satipatthana. Whatever we have learned is there as object of Satipatthana. Not just the word about it, but the reality is there. Because understanding about the reality is on and on and on until Satipatthana arises by condition, no selection object at all, only by conditions. And understanding clearly how much understanding is there must be always unexpected. For example, if it 3 million years ahead, who knows the moment when it's there from now. That's why the second noble truth, ignorance and attachment is there, has to be known. Otherwise, it cannot cannot be let go at all. So natural but so deep. That's the way Dhamma works, not I or anyone work at all. No one. Only confidence. And one day, when time comes, when the condition is ready, thinking about Dhamma is there. See, no, unexpectedly. And when one does not sleep at night, and it's time for those moments to develop, it's there unexpectedly. That's why understanding moment of very secretly attachment. And the moment when there's no attachment, it's there. Understanding pop up as whatever now. Whatever now is popping up all the time. Unknown. It is known. Not at the time we expect, but unexpected moment. So the understanding of the anothernness is much more firmer and firmer, not to do anything, but more moment of attending or aware of the object which is now appearing by conditions, moment with awareness and moment without awareness. When doubt is there, the sharp understanding can understand it, no matter what, how strong it is, how weak it is, how subtle it is. Right understanding has to arise and understand that it's just a reality. So the way to let go the idea of self or the clinging to whatever we take for us or I or me or friends or whatever, just Dhamma. And no arrangement at all. Who knows the accumulation from life to life, years to try to arrange the way it is. Impossible. It has to be just like it is now. So it takes patience as parami, viriya as parami, satya as parami, letting go clinging to do something, to try so hard to have accomplishment, even that. That's why Dhamma is so very deep, and only the understanding is sharp enough to understand the very subtle reality which arises and then gone instantly. Just develop understanding, firm confidence more and more about the truth, about what is there appearing, but not yet discern its nature as that arises and falls away. So, pleasant feeling that it has to be that way. So be natural, smiling, thinking, crying, whatever is there. To be known, just to be known. So what is there in life has to be known. That's all. Little by little.
Ajahn, just as a while ago, you mentioned imagination, and you suggested to imagine the world of atta and anatta. What do you actually mean by imagination? And is it possible to imagine atta while there is still such attachment to the self?
Okay.
How can we imagine something that we've not experienced or has not been experienced? What do you mean imagination?
Can anyone imagine the whole bed, the whole window? It's just not there. Only that which can be experienced, only that which impinges on the eye. Imagine. How can all of things around gone instantly? And the truth is that what is object of awareness with very high understanding of the truth, nothing is there, only that. Imagine. And when what is there appear as it is, not as a window, not as a bed, not as a chair, what is that? Is it so clear? It's only that, just like the dust. And when it appears well, it has to be through minder. Because seeing is just a moment. The nimitta of seeing many moments are now, not the pasampatichana, santirana, savana, and so on at all. It's only that which appears to seeing, because seeing arises just to see, while the other object and experience the object of seeing, but do not see. Panchatavaravachana cannot see. Sampatichana cannot see. It experiences the same object as that object hasn't fallen away yet. So it needs vitakka, achetasika, to hold that object. For the other moment of citta, experience it while it hasn't fallen away yet. See, it's not just the word. Each word is so true. So we live in the nimitta of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, liking, so on. But not as sampatichana, santirana, and so on. And imagine, can it appear? What appears is what appears now to be known. But right understanding is clear and clearer and clearer enough to be the moment of understanding the nature of one characteristic. So how can there be the other reality together? Otherwise, it's not clear understanding of what is there now at all, while there are so many things together around. It can never be clear. So understanding what is meant by clear understanding, the object appears clear. Otherwise, how can Panya is clear if it does not appear just as it is? How many thousand, hundreds moments now for that which impinges on at the eye and appear as different things at once, like closes one's eyes. They all gone instantly, not just one by one. And as soon as one open one's eye, it's that instantly so many things imagine until it cannot appear like that at all. Otherwise, it cannot appear clear. And only Panya, which develop to be aware of one object at a time. Even right now, there can be awareness of hardness, but the other reality still appear because many moments of experiences that object appear together and very few moments of awareness. So it cannot appear well from the very beginning at all. Impossible. But the more right understanding develop of one characteristic of one reality, it's understand better and better about seeing at moment of seeing. It's not moment of hearing. And that moment sound does not appear, and the characteristic of hearing, which is not sound, begin to show up, to appear, to be object of understanding. But in the beginning, it's not clear at all. For now, think about the reality which arises and experiences, not the shape, not the sound, not the smell. What is that object? Is there any moment, any time, consider it? Is there any time attend to the characteristic until it's time to be aware of that characteristic, until it is acquainted to that characteristic that it's just a reality which arises and experiences the object. More acquainted, more familiar with that reality to let go the idea of self gradually. So now it's the first round of the Four Noble Truth, understanding the way it is, the moment of understanding from hearing, considering, until it is moment of instantly, directly aware of a reality one at a time, even though it does not appear as one yet, but it begins to develop, to attend, to be aware, to understand it, to consider it only little by little. Naturally, more difficult to let go the idea of self. That's why it takes how long, how much patience and parami, all kinds of parami. And it works its way until it's there, developed in daily life. Understanding what is there now because it's there. It does not change. It is just like it's there now. But right understanding begins to be firmer and firmer until it conditions moment of seeing it, until it appears well, which means through mind. Because there are many moments of the process of mind. Only one moment of sense process. Then many minders experience that object. So when it appears, the difference between when it appears through the sensor without minder, they are together as something. But when through minder, it cannot appear like that. because it appears through mind though, to understand the nature of that which experiences the object, which cannot be by sense though. All other objects experience more and more until the world of mind though appears, follow sense though. So nothing appears as something like now, people and things anymore.
And
That's what.
actually, John, that's why I wonder how it is possible to imagine that direct experience before it has happened.
But it's quite different from when it happens, really.
Yeah. Yes, that's
Okay?
what I mean.
But it has to be.
I
And
know
that is, yeah.
it
And
has to
that
be
is the
different.
meaning, yeah,
And
of
we
the
cannot be
3
imagined
rounds. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
beforehand.
yeah. But the truth, so true, it has to be only as it is. It cannot be sensed though, any sense though, who can understand the truth.
And
Not
I think,
sense though.
Maeve, there's, like you say, how can it be imagined? It's just like speculation when there's
who knows what that is based on.
Usually just clinging to what
yes.
one's fantasy of enlightenment is like, or clear understanding is like. And as,
I guess that's what
as
I'm...
John, yes. And as John was saying at the end, I mean, the only clear understanding is when it is the direct understanding
Yes.
of the degree of vipassana jnana that really understands the realities clearly. Otherwise, like if we just imagine what it's like to not take any reality for lastingness or something, but it's just thinking, it's just speculatively thinking. But there can be the beginning of wise considering, like when she was talking to Yotika, that each seeing, each thinking, it's gone instantly. Life is just in a moment, nothing lasts. There can be the reflecting wisely about how the dhammas fall away, not in anyone's control at this moment, each one gone, never to rise again. There can be the reflecting wisely or unwisely, but we listen, we discuss so that there is more wise consideration. And I think when she's using the word imagination in that context, she's saying, imagine what it would be like to directly know the arising and falling away. So it's referring to wise considering, but I think your point's a good one, that usually when we try and imagine what it would be like to have high stages of insight or talk about enlightenment, it's just clinging and usually all wrong understanding. So I think that's a good point. The word imagining can have many different connotations.
Anyway, thank you very much, Ajahn and Sarah.
When she said earlier, Ajahn said earlier, you know, what is seen, we know it's just what is visible, just color. Imagine if it's not taken for something instantly, like it is now, if it's not taken for utter, if there's just understanding that what is seen is just what is visible, what is heard is just sound, and there really is the true letting go of utter. So it's not the experience now, but there can be a little reflection on how the less clinging to utter, the easier life is. I think that's the point.
It reminds me also when Ajahn speaks about the roof of Loba, which prevents from seeing the truth of realities, and we imagine what is on the other side of the roof of Loba, and so we paint the roof like with what we know, like the stars and the sky, and the sun and the moon, and we think that that's what's on the other side of the roof, and it's like so it's like a dream. We dream of the sky and the moon and the stars, and but that's all we can dream about. Even if we open our eyes, we keep on dreaming about the what is not there, and because of attachment and ignorance. So and when we hear Ajahn explaining what was on the other side of the roof, we can kind of imagine what's on the other side of the roof, but we have no idea. We just hear the words and we imagine the reality without actually seeing it. But then that's like a little crack which we can, on the roof, which we can begin to make bigger and little by little, but without any hope to suddenly have the whole picture of what's on the other side of the outside the roof. It's just imagination.
Right, like most of the time now. We're just living in the fantasy world of the sun and the sky and the stars and the moon and so on. But there are moments of waking up for a moment. So imagine what it's like would be like if it was the other way around, that there were many, many moments of waking up, many, many moments of understanding with less and less fantasy about the sun and the stars and the moon as existing. So I think it's just referring to how understanding can develop little by little, not saying that one should imagine what it's like to have no ignorance and to speculate about it, but just to begin to reflect on what is most precious in life, what is the true accomplishment.
I sometimes, oh, sorry.
No, I finished. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
I sometimes think, you know, what I've learned of, say, of the Intl.Dhamma, you know, seeing followed by many jitters, hearing, or well, firstly there's mind, or but just those moments that arise and fall and arise and fall. And very occasionally the thought will come to me that daily life is nothing like what I normally experience. It's just these moments, and it doesn't actually stop me in my tracks, but occasionally it does. It's like a little whack in the head. Wow, these moments that will eventually be known is nothing like what we experience now. And it's really, in one way, it's exciting in that I can imagine or kind of what it must be like to have no or very little attachment to what's going on. I'm not saying that there is no attachment, but I can, I think, imagine what it would be like. And I think it's almost an encouragement to continue listening, because I think the listening to these words is most important, because we don't hear it in everyday life. It's, you know, it's when we get together with Dhamma discussion, listening to Ajahn and each other, that this truth becomes talked about. So I'm very much appreciative of my Dhamma friends and Ajahn especially. Thank
And
you.
of course, the experiences in daily life, the dhammas, like Ajahn said earlier, are just the same, no matter there's no understanding, a little understanding, a lot of understanding. So daily life is just the same. The difference is the understanding that begins to develop and the ignorance that gradually gets worn away. But the seeing, the pleasant feeling, the unpleasant feeling, the generosity, the clinging in between, all these realities in daily life, just the same. Like the example you gave of giving things away and mixed motives, moments of generosity, thinking who can appreciate these items, and moments of clinging because I just want to have the space cleared. But life goes on like that, just different dhammas, kusala, akusala, vipaka, kiriya dhammas, endlessly. But it's the understanding that develops, more and more understanding that it's not I, they're just different dhammas, not my generosity or clinging, just different dhammas, each one gone instantly.
Yes,
Less clinging to the story
yeah.
of I.
And to know that there's nothing that can be done, that, yeah, as you say, life just goes on. And the difference is the developing understanding, because a friend wrote, our friend Jilly, she couldn't attend today. She was helping with the election. And she said something like, or she wrote something like, oh, it's all agusala. And I thought about that, and agusala can be known. All of this that arises can be known, whether it's generosity or whether it's meanness, kusala or agusala. It can be known. It has to be known, actually.
And the akusala is only for a moment too. What about the seeing? What about the hearing? What about thinking? So it's just for a moment, and it's not my akusala. That's the point to stress. I know it's like we were a bit late because we just came back from the opera, and lots of loba, and the ferry was a bit late, and this and that. Lots of loba, and then concern about being late. Lots of akusala, but in between seeing, hearing, different dhammas, consideration for other people. So it's just daily life, just different dhammas. Like you say, it can't be helped. Each one is conditioned. Each one falls away instantly. That's life. Thinking it should be another way, or one would like to have less loba or less akusala or more goodness, when giving it's just more clinging instead of understanding. But it's daily life too.
Yes.
Anytime, any place, any situation, just different dhammas, conditioned.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. If no one else is going to speak up, I'd like to go back more to that thing of generosity. It became quite an enlightening thing for me to think about the motives behind the giving, because I had more stuff to give away, and there was something I really didn't want to get rid of, but because I just can't take any of this with me. So I chose a certain friend who I knew would appreciate, and she did. She really did. But then again, it's like, well, yeah, I don't know, I don't know whether it's true giving or whether it's because I made my friend feel quite happy because of what I'd given her. And I thought, well, that's nice. But whether it's a good thing or not, I don't know. But it's interesting to think about now that the giving and the, the actual handing stuff over. It's been very, very interesting.
And you never know the result. Like when we go to Vietnam, Jan and John and I were given a lot of gifts, and I give them all away to different people, as Hung knows. And sometimes, yeah, like the chocolate Hung gave me, I passed to Su Kin's sons, and something else I gave to the elderly mother of someone. And it was a condition for the friend to have a long Dhamma discussion with her mother because she was so pleased to receive the gifts. So you never know the effect.
Yeah.
And so one can consider who may appreciate it, and there can be moments of kusala, but there are also, of course, moments of clinging. One's so happy when someone likes a gift and finds it useful, and so just different dhammas in daily life. It's always like that, I think. In truth, no one here, no one there.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
different dhammas.
Yeah.
Actually, Sarah, I guess that's where, in some ways, the discussion around generosity or around the accomplishment started. That that the motives are so mixed, the intention is, so scrambled, and I think it's very fortunate if a moment arises of noticing that, oh, I'm giving this away because I don't really want it, or someone is really pleased with something that we give, and then we're really pleased with ourselves for giving it, and it can go, you realize how little purity of giving there is in so much of what we conventionally think is generosity. And that's true for each of the paramis. And so
without the Dhamma, we'd have no idea at all. We'd just take it for giving and think of the situation. We'd have no idea at all. Yes.
So there's a wealth of opportunity.
Yes.
To actually learn more about intention and what is really there, as opposed to what. I mean, this is sort of the downside of imagination, I suppose, that we imagine that we're a generous person. And yet if we actually are honest about it in the light of the Dhamma, that is not as accurate as we'd like it to be.
And I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank Yotika for her very kind gift when we met her in the Netherlands. And she wrote a very kind card with a little offering in it. And I still have her card on the mantelpiece. So thank you very much, Yotika. So we appreciated her generosity too. And appreciating generosity is a kind of giving as well. Like Jan mentioned, the forgiveness is a kind of giving, and appreciating others' giving is a kind of generosity. And I found all the Vietnamese friends had such great appreciation when I told different people I'd pass their gifts to different people, and they appreciated it so much. So I appreciate that appreciation as well. So many opportunities for kusala in a day. All dhammas, all passing, all the time.
It was a great gift it was a great gift to me that you came, that you were there.
A very special occasion. We were very glad that we were able to meet you all and discuss Dhamma together. It was the one of the best days of our trip to Europe, yes, because it was useful. So
Yeah.
more precious than when one's just doing things for one's own enjoyment.
Yeah.
Okay, there's not a lot of time. Jan, would you like to add any comments on any of these topics?
Just keep on hearing, considering more and more, little by little, it develops in its own way. Just like now, see? Understanding more about the subtle realities. It's so very subtle. It does appear as it is because it appears so very rapidly as so many things around, while in truth it's just one moment of experiencing an object which cannot be taken for be something at all. See, I still see you, but in truth, different colors.
Yeah.
Until the moment is there, just understanding just the moment, very short moment that cannot be taken for anyone at all. So very sure that it appears as it is. Nothing there, only what we say color or the object, sound or smell, that's all. So very short and then gone. The more consider it, the more read about it, the more thinking about it, it's the moment of development understanding to become one's habit. Nisaya, upa, pajaya, upa, nisaya, pajaya. Not to think of other objects and thinking more, a little more about the truth. No matter in words, at moment of reading, it's the sound about what Buddha had said before. About now, this moment, how long it will be known as it is, little by little, to condition different level of sati and of other wholesome quality, gradually, little by little. That's why life is different each one, each moment, each day, by conditions. The more clinging or the less clinging from day to day depends on understanding. When there's a little more understanding, the life change into a little more wholesome moment, for sure. If it does not appear as so much different, it gradually changes the way of thinking, the way of behavior, and so on, all by conditions. So understanding the truth is so very precious that it works its way, even gradually, but it does not harm at all. It conditions more patience for any situation, any doorway, little by little. Thinking a little more about giving away things for the other's benefit, see, and be friendly with kindness or metta of what is there. No more condition for anger or dislike. That is so unpleasant. It hurts unknowingly. One thinks that it's just a short moment, but it accumulates more and more each moment. Thinking about next year, about 20 years ahead, and next life, and so on. What is there comes from what is there now, accumulated gradually. So, what about accumulation of kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and so on? developing and then understanding of the truth is the most important. No matter how much one is better or be good more and more. What about understanding? The most important, the most precious reality is understanding the truth. And there can be the understanding of the truth at any time by conditions, see, by conditions. And just understanding the truth of what is there in words or intellectually is not enough, because it can develop more and more by conditions to realize the truth at that very moment, just one reality at a time. Even it's not so clear, but it begins to attend to one characteristic of a reality, little by little, unexpectedly. For example, it can be moment of drinking, see the taste is there, at moment of liking or at moment of pleasant feeling or any moment by conditions. Just not forget that just live to understand the truth. Otherwise, more and more ignorance, attachment, and all kinds of akusala. So we can talk about life in general to understand the truth that it's not permanent, and each different reality by conditions accumulated to condition this very moment of thinking about what is now appearing, little by little, stage by stage. Is that the only way? Firmer and firmer confidence of reality as no one, nothing. Very short, only in this life, no more next life after death. Different experiences again, different thought again, different kusala and akusala, unexpected, unknown, or begin to know how come such very strong attachment or very subtle attachment. And what about sanya cetasika, vedana cetasika, as sanya khanda, vedana khanda? They're all there only once in lifetime. And understanding is much more precious than attachment and ignorance, which is almost every moment in life, in a day, for sure. And this can lead to direct understanding with direct awareness unexpectedly. Even it's so very, very little, very, very slight, but it's the beginning, the stage of the beginning. It has to be very slight understanding, but begin to understand different moments between without awareness and with awareness, and learn to understand the characteristic of awareness. Now we just talk about it, but when it hasn't arisen yet, how can it be known that it is awareness of a reality right now? Even it's so short, but it's different from just at moment of ordinary or the usual level of kusala in the day. See, just right now, it can be there by conditions, depending on conditions. One day, it will appear like that, little by little. Understanding the different stages of pariyatti and patipatti is the way to realize the truth, patibheda. So what we are talking about is so true every moment that can be known by conditions only. Seeing now, how much understanding, a little more. Who knows? Holding the knife handle, see, it works its way. It's not that which is experienced, which is seen, but it's that which sees. It does not appear yet, because the object of seeing appears. The object of hearing appears, but that seeing, the hearing, the reality, which is the chief of experiences, does not appear. So when it appears, right understanding understand the difference. Now we just talk about directly aware of that characteristic to become acquainted to the reality which has no shape and form. Nothing appears as rupa, only that which has no shape and form, nothing as shape and form appear together. It just experiences the object. So now they do not, it's not distinguished the nama and the rupa. But when it's more attended little by little until it is aware and beginning to understand the nature of the reality which experiences the object, no word about it. At moment of attachment is there or anger is there. It's a reality which is not hard. No need to say that it's nama or it's not rupa, but its characteristic is that it is the quality of getting angry, dislike, see, and so on, as it is when it's there. So it's there by conditions, very shortly and then gone. No matter what, kusla or akusla, until the understanding of the characteristic which is there, but it is not known as it is, become to be known gradually, little by little. Now who knows? It creeps on, or it moves towards the reality which is so close, little by little, until it reached that characteristic one at a time, by conditions, so close. The word so close can condition moment of getting closer to hardness here, sound appearing here, and seeing, no matter what. Before it can be known that it is not the hand, it's not the leg, it is hard. No matter what is that, it's hard at moment of touching. And there is touching almost all the time in a day, even right now. There is touching and hardness is there. No leg, no arm, no one, no thing at all. The ultimate truth at moment of understanding it when it's there. When it's there is what we mean by direct awareness. But there has to be understanding of that which appears too. Even it's so very vague, very slight in the beginning, but it can be more firmer and firmer, little by little. So it's time now. สวัสดีค่ะ